Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa. Just tell Vanessa now, tell Vanessa now. Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
Welcome to another edition of Tell Vanessa. I'm your host, Vanessa Cruikshank, and we have another fun-filled show where current affairs meets reality talk. Each and every week we cover an interesting topical debate, highlight a community issue or business, and I share your dilemmas. And then we finish with some good music. So sit back, relax and enjoy Tell Vanessa.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
I'm sitting here today in the House of Love this weekend. I'm at Love-A-Lution and I'm here with the brainchild, Menelik Shabazz. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for the opportunity, Vanessa.
Tell me, why did you decide to do a day all about love?
Because I did a film, Looking for Love, and out of that, people were wanting to talk and wanting to open, because the film opens you up to looking at your emotions and stuff. And so the next thing was, how do we then create another event, or how do we deal with that emotion in the real world? And so it's really about creating environments which was to bring out the issues, bring more love, because love is a fundamental thing to us, but yet in a society, love doesn't have much of a value, and yet it's the thing that we need the most. And so this event is really concerned with raising the vibration of love in our community and in all communities in this country, and to show that love is a power force. It's not just a kind of romantic thing, and that, you know, because for women they might embrace some of it, but for the men, when you talk about love, it's like, it's like, and I'm trying to move away from this kind of idea of love as a kind of, you're weak or you're soft or it's emotional, but to really be a power force for change. And, recently we've seen the passing of Muhammad Ali, and he was the epitome of love, you know what I mean, in all its aspects. So that's kind of what we want to bring, more of that in the community.
So what's going on today? What stalls, what things are happening here today?
Today we have a number of workshops to do with, I'm doing one on men talk.
And what's that going to be about?
I'm not sure yet. As it comes, as it flows. It's just sharing my wisdom and knowledge as a man who's kind of gone through life a little bit. And so that's a men talk session. Jackie Holder is doing a journaling workshop, which is to do with showing how you can write, or through writing, how you can, offload a lot of the baggage that you carry, or we carry. There's also Nigel Beckles, who's doing relationship mistakes workshop. What are the relationship mistakes? And Maeve Crawford is doing Finding Your Soulmate. So there are different workshops to do with relationships, to do with love, to do with self-love. And then aligned with that, we have a number of stalls that have healing, different healing modalities, or they have, or they're readers, and so on. So we're just trying to create an experience, really, that is about love, but it's also about transforming our world, or expanding our world.
So I can hear the noise in the background. What's happening outside now?
It sounds like it's Andrew O'Carroll, who is doing a workshop to do with loving self, and how we love ourselves, and how we can free up that love to be expansive, and other stuff that I'm not sure yet. I've got to go in and hear. But yeah, he's really going to be talking about more the kind of the self-love aspects.
So is this for couples or single people? Because I'm here, single.
It's for everyone, because love is, it's for everyone. And so whether you're single, whether you're in relationships, it's really still something that we need to express more. Because in relationships, I'm in relationships, and there's still things that we have to, you're working through. So it doesn't mean that because you're in a relationship, it's over. It's not, because we're still carrying stuff. And so it's really for everyone, and single people, especially because a lot of them in London and in England. increasing population of single people. And I'm like, wow. I mean, that's why I did Looking for Love, the film, was because I was realizing that why is there all these single people in London now, or in, you know, and what's behind that, and trying to now go deeper into looking at the emotional aspect that we don't really discuss in our society, and how powerful that is as a driver for what we do. It's not our conscious mind that drives us, it's our subconscious. So, you know, so for example, if you're addicted to something, you know that you're not supposed to do it, you know that, you know, but your subconscious is saying, this, you better do this. Yeah. I need it now, and kind of thing. So it's just trying to, you know, and also emotional stuff that we get, you know, because, you know, with men especially, we have a lot of, we keep stuff inside. We don't share, and so it might burst out in anger, or just, you know, might burst out in depression, or it might burst out in someone. What was I going to say? It will burst out, like for example, we saw last year when the plane from the pilot in Germany, he decided to down the plane with all those people because he had emotional issues. So these are powerful things, and yet, where do we discuss this in the society?
At the moment, at Love-A-Lution.
At Love-A-Lution is where we start. So that's what it's about, bringing all of that into the mix.
So this is the first one?
Yes, this is the first one.
So are you going to do any more? Is any more happening?
Oh yeah, we have big plans. This is just a baby that's just come out. And so there are lots of plans for Love-A-Lution. That's not just even UK, it's even beyond that.
So if anyone wants to get more information about Love-A-Lution, where do they need to go?
They can go on our Facebook page, Love-A-Lution. We have, because there's a few other Love-A-Lutions, we have the symbol of the hand with the lotus flower. So look for that on Facebook under Love-A-Lution, or they can contact us via your channel. In my time, love is something to aspire to, or you want to become and you want to be part of, and it, you know, was exciting. Maybe it's when I was younger, I don't know, it was feeling that way. But the thing is that we're not feeling that kind of love anymore, and people don't respond to love in that same way. But, you know, if I did a phone call looking for sex, then I would have got a lot more vibrant response. So it seems to me that people are vibrating more on that level than the idea of love, because love seems to be heavy. It seems to carry a lot of things. And so what we're trying to do is free up and also understand that love is a power force that exists within all of us. That is what makes us who we are. And the more power that we can generate from within us, the more we can transform ourselves and transform our world. And so Love-A-Lution is really about bringing a change.
So I'm here at Love-A-Lution, and I'm in the healing room. And I'm here with Naomi, Teresa and Susan. So ladies, can I ask you, why are you here at Love-A-Lution?
We've come to practice healing today, and anyone that wants to try out healing, we're here to explain how healing works as for therapists. We're hoping anyone that would like to come along and have healing today, and you can see how we work, because it is not, well, at the moment it's still hard to get the healing out there to the general public, but it can work very well with cancer patients, which I work with a lot. It takes the pain away when morphine's not working. And I also send healing around the world as well, it's received. And also I'm a psychic surgeon.
What's a psychic surgeon?
Well, we can operate without actually going into the body with instruments by taking illnesses and symptoms away. If there's a gallbladder, we can go and take the stones out with our psychic powers and our psychic surgeon guys that we work with.
And you've actually done that?
Yes.
Wow, and it's successful, yeah?
As well, yeah?
Gosh, it's amazing. And what about you, Susan? What's your role here?
I'm a healer, using spiritual energy, just using the source, and it's just very basic, very simple technique of, you know, rebooting the whole body, chakra points, and just giving, it's just a way to relax the client. They have a busy week, they come in for a whole half an hour, £10, and just relax.
And you do another profession as well, don't you?
Yes, my day trade is social worker in Brent, and then this is my other side of me.
So do you use some of the healing with the social work?
So I do a lot of my work when I'm doing my social work, so it's invisible, but it's doing it while I'm doing my work.
Sounds brilliant.
And sometimes I support Susan in her work. She phones me and I give her answers to when she needs help with the patients and clients.
I get kind of overview of what's going on.
It's quite amazing. And Naomi,
Yes.
what's your role?
Here, also as a healer, and I was saying that healing modalities come in many ways, in many different forms, depending on the individual, the channel, which is what I am, of energy, and depending on which energies are suitable for the individual, their soul, because one is healing the soul, not just the physicality. You have to heal the soul, which permeates through the actual physicality. And so with regards to healing, I, as a psychic and as a medium and as a healer and as a channeler and many other things too, it's about utilising the different vibrations, because we're talking about vibrational energy. And I work with Skype all over the world, I've done, but I've worked internationally as well. The reason I'm here today is to literally share the love, share the healing for those that need it. Everybody needs healing. You can never have enough healing, because we're talking about the individuals, maybe their life now, but also depending on, if you like, their soul group, from where they've come from, their culture, how they're living in a particular area within the world, and then the city in which they're living in. So and moves on in the country they're living in. So I do a lot of healing, absent healing, also healing the planet.
So you said that you can feel energies and stuff.
Yes.
If I gave you my hand, would you be able to feel my energy?
Absolutely, but I see as well, because I'm clairaudient and voyant, which you see, I hear and sense. So I've been very blessed with lots of abilities. I basically say, whatever you need, we can provide, because it's a collaboration between the energies and spirit and me as a pure channel.
Okay. Well, I'm going to give you my hand, and you tell me what you can feel.
Okay, it's like switch it on, huh? Okay. Right. Well, with healing, you do have the capacity. You are. It's like you're in your own way. You're very much. You have the capacity of being clairvoyant. In other words, being a seer. And if you choose to, is to hear. It's almost like you're not giving yourself time. You're running around, being very, very busy. So you think, well, I'll do that later, I'll do that later, I'll do that tomorrow, I'll do that tomorrow.
I am very, very busy.
And you need, yes, as I say, you do have a relative here with you who does guide you, female in spirit. Okay, and if you ever have ideas, suddenly you're thinking about something, you're calling on an angel or whatever you feel is appropriate for you, you might suddenly get a thought in your head, do it this way. This is your relative.
I'm here now with the other brainchild of Love-A-Lution, Nefertiti. Hello.
Hi, pleased to meet you.
So tell me a little bit, I've spoken to Menelik about how and why Love-A-Lution came about. So tell me from your perspective why you got involved, why you decided to set this up.
Okay. Well, as part of Menelik's film, Looking for Love, I've also been in the background quite a lot. And when when we did question and answer, a lot of people would say, well, what's the solution? There's all of this, we need healing, who's going to do that? There's a lot of issues in the community. And a lot of, we seem to be in a state where we're always talking about the issues. We need to do, so the solution part of it, with the solution part came Love-A-Lution. So for us, that was a part of the solution. What can we do to start the healing process? Because we're all suffering from a kind of pain. Yeah. And you see that in society, you see it with the young men that are killing each other, you see it with the amount of suicides there are, with young people and older people, you see it with the amount of anorexia, bulimia, I'll pronounce it. Bulimia that's going on. So it seemed, and there was something in the papers that talked about the depression levels and anxiety. So we're more and more, we're getting anxious, we're getting depressed. So how are we going to solve it? So that's how Love-A-Lution began. I am a psychic healer, I'm a counsellor, an ex-social worker. And when I started doing counselling, I realised that a lot of people had issues that they weren't solving. And then they were coming to counselling, especially Caribbeans, African and Caribbean people. We would come into counselling, we'd have 1 or 2 sessions and not turn up because the pain was so much. We didn't really, when you start to open up, it becomes overwhelming and you don't want to come back.
So what are you actually doing here? So what's your role here? Are you actually got any workshops going on here yourself, or you talking? Or, yeah.
Well, what I do, I have a book that's coming out called Shine Your Divine Light, before I forget.
Wow.
And that's all about my journey.
Okay.
And how I came through all of my issues in relationships, growing up with my parents, and my solutions to life. Why I'm here, I'm part of the foundation. So myself and Menelik do Love-A-Lution. I do meditation, so I'm going to be running my meditation CD a bit later on.
Okay.
And it's just about coordinating everything together. So getting the stalls right, the healers right. So everything's kind of working in balance and creating the atmosphere, which is most important.
This has been a truly lovely and uplifting day, one that's been about positivity. Love-A-Lution is more than just the day, it's a movement, bringing peace, love and harmony back into the community. So when the next Love-A-Lution comes about, whether you're single, in a relationship or just need healing, come down and support this movement. You will definitely have a good day.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa. I need a plumber and a gardener too. An electrician who can work for you. What do I want? I need a trader.com. What do I want? I need a trader.com.
Looking for a plumber or a gardener or searching for a trader in your area? Then go to ineedatrader.com. For all your trade needs under one roof, ineedatrader.com.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
Each week we highlight a community business or a community issue, and this week we're focusing on a London business. I'm sitting here with a truly inspirational lady who started an amazing company called It's My Magazine. So I'm here with Crystal Downey. Hello Crystal, so tell me a little bit about It's My Magazine and what's the inspiration behind it.
Well, Vanessa, It's My Magazine. We capture people's weddings or their special events within their own luxury magazine heirloom. So clients order between 10 to a couple hundred copies, one for each guest, and we have our team of journalists, photographers, graphic designers who actually create a beautiful, stunning heirloom to be enjoyed for generations.
It sounds like an absolutely brilliant idea, but what was the inspiration behind it? How did it start?
Well, initially, my great-grandmother grew up in St Anne's, Jamaica, and she was actually best friends with Bob Marley's mum.
Okay.
And so she had all these stories about this little red-skinned boy running around the district, and apparently he used to read palms till the age of 5 very well until he predicted his own death, and that scared him so much he never did it again. So she had all these stories, and I thought there has to be a way to capture it without being ultra-rich or ultra-famous. And long story short, she passed away quite quickly of an illness, so I never got to write her life story. So when she did, I thought, hey, that could be a great idea actually. I bet a lot of people have got extraordinary tales from ordinary relatives where, you know, if you dig a bit deeper, you'll find some really interesting nuggets of truth. So we started with the life story capture section and those editions went really well. And then we expanded it to the wedding market because we thought traditional albums are sorely lacking when it comes to actually documenting the whole experience.
So what's the difference between having a photographer at your wedding and having a magazine?
Well, we still use the same resources, so we either use our clients' photographers or one of our own. And but the difference is that most photographers, they finish at the first dance, which is usually around 7 to 9 p.m. But if you've hired the venue till 3 a.m, that's all those hours that's uncovered because your album stops at that point. Whereas with It's My Magazine, we capture anyone's pictures from your friends, family, Facebook, so you get that whole experience documented. We do quirky articles like Style File to see what your guests are wearing. We do On This Day in History to find out what interesting things happened on that day in history throughout history. So we do other elements and we capture everything from meeting to, you know, your childhood, hen and stag night, the big day, your honeymoon, so your whole story gets captured, which is a bit more unique.
So this sounds brilliant, but it sounds like it doesn't only have to be a magazine just for the wedding. Is that true?
Very true, very true. So, I mean, we have commissions for it's my baby, it's my bar mitzvah, it's my birthday. So if you're, celebrating a beautiful event of any age, any type of event, anniversary, we can still be really relevant. And it's just a lovely memento, a nice keepsake for your family.
So your company was nominated for an award?
Yes, we were, by the British Design Council. We were nominated and we were in the top 3 of the UK's most innovative new businesses. So that's really good because it is a great idea, and a lot of people, once they hear about the idea, they're like, oh wow, I never thought of that. And so I think it's resonating with a lot of people.
So there'll be a lot of people out there listening and thinking, how could they go about starting their own company? Mm-hmm. How did you actually start?
Oh, well, we obviously had the idea, but the actual cash flow behind it, we were on a game show called £1 Million Drop.
Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah, so that was really good. I literally, one day I was watching telly and Davina McCall said, if you think you can do better, apply. So I thought, yeah, it's not going to happen. But within 2 weeks, we're actually on the show.
Wow, that's quick.
So yeah, it was really great. So it was a great experience. And Davina said at the time, what would you want to do with the money? My mum and I were both on the show. So we basically said start our business. So from there, we've literally, not looked back. So it's been amazing.
So this is a mother and daughter team?
It is,
yeah?
It is.
So
I work with Mummy Dearest.
Lovely. Yeah. So how's that working out for you?
Yeah, it's great. No, it's good. She's very practical, whereas I'm a bit more creative. So the two of our heads fused together, it really works well. And because obviously the family business started with a family concept, it's always nice working with someone that you can trust to actually get the job done.
So if somebody now wants you to commission this magazine for them, what do they need to do?
I'd say just contact the website, www.itsmymagazine.com. Let us know your brief in terms of what your event is. And if you have a photographer, we can work with your photographer. You literally just send us the pictures digitally. Or we've got our own photographers as well. So it depends on how they want to work. And then we can just literally go from there and commission their own story.
And how much notice do they need to have?
We're quite flexible. I mean, photography, wedding photographers get booked up about a year in advance, but for sort of birthdays, bar mitzvahs, anything that's sort of midweek, it's a very quick turnaround. In terms of when the event happens and when you get your heirlooms, it's about 6 weeks. So we normally have the interviews and stuff with our journalists that happen before the wedding day or before the big event. And then afterwards, we just literally get the magazine designer to start creating the page layouts.
Okay, it sounds brilliant. So this was Crystal Downey talking to us about It's My Magazine. If you want to find out some more information about this, go to tellvanessa.com.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
Welcome to another edition of Dilemma, and we have a juicy dilemma for you today from a guy called Michael. Michael's been with his girlfriend for the last 3 years. They've only been living together for the last 6 months. Michael's girlfriend works nights in a care home, or so he thinks. Anyway, one night he couldn't sleep, wakes up and decides to open the window to get some fresh air, and he sees his girlfriend sitting in the car, but he can't quite make out what she's doing. So the next night he gets up, positions himself near the window so he can see the car. The car pulls up and he sees his girlfriend changing into her nurse's uniform. He decides not to confront her, but instead instructs his friend the next day to follow his girlfriend when she leaves the house to see where she's going. She goes into a strip club and his friend goes in to see that she works there. Through discussions with the staff, he finds out for a little bit extra, he can get a little bit extra from the girls on stage, which includes his friend's girlfriend. So Michael has it out with his girlfriend and she admits what she's been doing and states that she's been doing it before she met him, and it's kind of become a bit of a habit. Michael decides to break up with his girlfriend. So where, you may ask, is the dilemma? Well, 6 months has passed and his ex wants him back. He misses her and wants to know what we think. Should he give love another try? No, no, no. Forget love. This is about trust and honesty. Love doesn't come into this. She lied effectively for 3 years, and she's obviously a good liar, as you never had a clue. The fact is, she never told you. You found out. She may be the loveliest girl in the world, but the truth is, can you trust her? I think not. So my advice is, time is a good healer, stay away. But like I say every week, this is just my advice, so let's take it to the streets and see what they think.
No, not at all. I'm not sure if she's doing things on the side, what else is she doing? How could she know?
If they miss each other, I think they should be together, even though she's been stripping. Yes, I mean, I think, obviously something they should discuss together.
Ladies, I've told you all about Michael. So now what do you think? Should he stay? Should he get back with his girlfriend or not?
I don't think so.
Have they talked? Did you talk to her about it?
I don't remember. I think they should just talk about it.
You think they should talk about it?
Yeah.
I think they've already talked about it.
Have they?
Well, if he's established that she's lying about her job, lying to him about what she does, putting on a fake uniform, she's clearly living another life.
I think it sounds a bit dodgy. I think time to move on.
Time to move on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
More fish in the sea.
You've heard it here, Michael. It's time to move on.
Yeah, I think they need to chat about it, like face to face. I don't think it's a decision he can make without confronting about it properly.
Yeah, maybe it's more of a story.
Yeah, and finding out why she's doing it and why she was
Well, she
afraid
said
to tell, or
it's been more of a habit.
And she's told him this.
No,
it's more
he
of a
found
habit.
out.
But how does he know it's a habit?
Because she told him.
Why is she hiding it?
See, that's what he needs to find out.
Just tell Vanessa, just tell Vanessa.
I'm sad to say that we come to an end of another great show. I'd like to thank all our guests and thank you for sending in your dilemmas. We're going to close the show with a brilliant soulful act. He's an accomplished songwriter and producer and a talented musician who plays several instruments. Let's finish with the soulful sounds of Halano. Good night.
1, 2, 3, 4. So hot. So hot. So hot. 'Cause you could be so hot. Girl, you could be hot. 'Cause you should be your baby. But you want it, baby. About yourself, I try to lie. Tell you that you are smoking, but you think I'm joking. Controversy, I think where you at. I never thought I'd wait this, but I had to fake it. Till I got there, I see you like that. 'Cause baby, you're an A-star, you're on there. But I didn't wanna stop telling me that you're not the kind of girl who only cares what people say. You could be the one if only you become the kind of girl who wants to be here. 'Cause you could be so hot.